Welcome traders to another episode on Prophecy Trades. Today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into CAD CHF and Euro CAD. Today's video, we'll be talking about CAD CHF's progress and Euro CAD's progress as well. So with that being said, let's dive into it and let's get started. So CAD CHF, we were actually in this trade for a long position. Yesterday, we actually were taken out of the market sometime shortly around 9 a.m. in the New York session, unfortunately. We actually did see a potential scaling opportunity. We did not actually scale in, but I did want to have a video and more in depth about scaling in entries. But considering that the fact that this trade actually collapsed and we did not even get into this trade at this opportunity here, there's no point of really discussing further. But this trade, it was about a 1% loss. We risked roughly about 9 pips. This is going for roughly about a 1 to 5 risk reward ratio. Price just collapsed. Looked like there was a head and shoulders that actually formed later on. So we, from this swing low down here to this high, this is that, counting this as that left shoulder, this is that head, and then this is the completion of the head, and then this is the right shoulder that unfortunately formed, and we see that price is falling. So I believe price will come up, potentially retest the neckline, and continue to the downside now that that has been formed. So we remove the emotion from trading and we move on to the next opportunity. We have EuroCAD. If you're watching these videos, EuroCAD sounds very familiar. We actually just executed this trade and we were actually able to extract about a 1 to 3 risk reward on a previous setup, and we actually saw another beautiful re-entry opportunity. So let's go ahead and talk about EuroCAD. You can tell right here on the previous videos, we actually were doing a thorough market analysis breakdown on an entry, and we actually exited out at this previous high. I talked about some previous potential resistance where price could potentially struggle, and price did struggle for about a number of hours, maybe about 5 hours. Price then had some momentum, high volume, price engulfed, bullish engulfing, came back and retested this trend line. So now we are now counting this as a counter trend break and retest. I then actually pulled out my fibs. I noticed that from this swing low to this swing high. So let me just show you here. From these arrows down here to this arrow up here, this is the swing of the fib, and you can see that we're aligned on that 50%, just shy of that 61.8. And then this second confirmation is respecting that counter trend line, acting as a form of support. And that third, we have that dynamic support of that 50 EMA on the hour chart. And we also have a fib trick as well. So let me go ahead and draw that out for you. So we pull it from this swing high to this swing low. And this is that swing low. Price retraces up to that, all the way up to that 61.8, comes back down within that 27, 61.8 fib trick completed zone within the move as a added confluence. So we actually ended up putting a limit order. This actually put us in the trade somewhere around, it was actually, so let's see here. So price actually came down. It was in the New York session, but we were not looking at this anymore. We were actually looking at another pair because we were already out of the market. And then we had later on had price come back and we had a limit order, and we were actually put into the trade later on into, looks like, closer to that Aussie session, or that in Aussie sessions we tend to have larger spreads. This was about 15 pips, and it was zero drawdown and took us straight into profit beautifully. Minimal consolidation for about maybe about 3, 4, 5 hours, and then we had beautiful price action and engulfed to the upside, targeting and smashing our take profit 2. No partial were taken. This was a 1 to 5.82, almost a 1 to 6. So just with these two trades here, we're about 9% up, minus that 1% from the CAD CHF. So that is the friendly update on these two pairs. And if you are liking these videos and they're helping you out on your trading journey, press a like button and subscribe. Thank you.